Hi everyone, you alright? Welcome back to CheekyChikeTV. Today we're going to be talking about... I really can't maintain that. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, CheekyChikeTV, and today we're going to be talking about why I apparently talk so funny. So, stay tuned.
Baseline. Oh, wicked. I'll put a donk on it. Donk, 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 donk.
So if we look up the dictionary definition of an accent, I had it open, I don't know why. The thing is, I was more prepared than this. I googled it, but the tab's closed. And a distinctive way of pronouncing a language, especially one associated with a particular country, area or social class. So personally, I always thought I didn't have an accent at all because I'm from the Midlands. And by my logic, there was northerners and southerners who had a northern accent and a southern accent, and because I was in the middle, I believed I was a mix of the two, and positive plus negative equals neutral. Therefore, no accent. After moving to university and being made very aware of my accent, it made me think about it a bit more and just made me want to sort of reclaim my home accent and be like, oh, the Midlands has got an accent and I've got it, therefore I'm from the Midlands, you should know where I'm from. And I was so proud of this until people started being like, oh no, you don't sound like you're from the Midlands, you just got an accent, I can't tell where you're actually from. I was like, oh. Then I'm just a bit of a confusion. I'm not from here. Like in the north, no one thinks I'm a northerner, I don't think, when I'm speaking like normally. And when I'm in the south, no one thinks I'm a southerner. People just can't really place me, is the word that someone's actually used, and he can't place my accent. So I started thinking about it a bit more, and I think it's because my accent's had so many different influences growing up, and I think a lot of other people have got a similar... Their accent sort of had a similar sort of journey as mine, because, well, I was born in the north of England, so in Yorkshire, so when I first learnt to speak, I would have had a little bit of a Yorkshire twang on my accent. And then I've lived in the East Midlands for most of my life, so that's had the biggest influence on my accent. Then I moved to the south in London for university, and have a lot of family who live in London, so have spent a lot of time there with people with a southern, some people don't even consider London a south, but people with a London or southeast England sort of accent. But I'm ethnically Nigerian, so there's a Nigerian influence on my accent as well. So it's all sort of a bit of a mishmash, and because of that I'm a bit of a chameleon. Depending where I am in the country, who I'm speaking to, my accent sort of fluctuates and it's never really stable, and it's something that used to really annoy me because people used to always point it out, but I think it's just like a little quirk that I've got. And if I'm in the north, my sounds in monkey and money and all sorts of things become a bit more pronounced. And then when I'm in the south, like, I don't know, I was about to say I get posher, but that's a lie, because I don't buy into this whole, oh, the north is low class accents and the south is the classy posh. No, I don't buy into that, I'm sorry. Accents are formed because of ancient dialectical differences, so that way of thinking is cancelled. But since moving home, I think my accent has restored, kind of, closer to what its actual sort of mishmash form is. For example, naturally I say nasty, dance, bath, grass, pass, fast, and all sorts of things like that. I call a bread roll a cob. I was about to say bacon, I wanted to say bacon bap, but bacon cob rolled off the tongue, so maybe I do say bacon cob. For people who aren't from the UK, who have no idea what I'm on about, I'll insert a picture of a cob somewhere here. I say money instead of, how does Southerners say money? Money, alright. Whenever I try to do a Southern accent, I go all Cockney, because I just watched too much EastEnders growing up, so that's my representation of everyone in the south. Once you go past Northampton, everyone just sounds like Phil Mitchell. You owe me money. Monkey as well. Funny instead of fanny. That was really terrible. There's countless days of when my accent has been readjusted in order for someone to be able to understand me, or for me not to have to repeat myself. For example, I remember I was in Manchester once and I was in KFC, something very simple, like trying to order food in KFC. I said to the guy, can I have a 2-piece meal please? And he was like, you what, pal? I was like, can I have a 2-piece meal please? He was like, can you have a what?
You're like, kid.
And I was like, No, there's no way my accent is in any way that thick that someone from literally Manchester, which is just over 100 miles, like just under 100 miles away, can understand what I was saying. So I was just like, can I have a 2-piece meal, please? Like, 2-piece meal, pal. Yeah, I'll get that for you. I was like,
This meal is minging.
Anyone from Manchester, don't come for me, please, because I haven't perfected you guys' accent yet. That was just my generic northern sort of accent then. But then at the same time, even though I don't necessarily have the typical East Midlands accent, I feel very at home when I hear it. And it's like when I hear people with a proper Nottingham or Leicester accent.
Something like, chill out mate, because he's one of them, innit? I bet if Cook was your mate you wouldn't like him, he'd do your head in.
And like, for example, if you do something stupid and someone says, Avwerdwiyasen, buddy. Avwerdwiyasen. Have a word with yourself, as in, what do you think you're doing? Stuff like that, or you're right, ducker. Stuff like that, just, it warms my heart because it reminds me of home. And it's hard to explain because I don't sound like I'm from here, but I am from here. But because I'm on camera now, when I'm giving a sort of presentation, my accent changes slightly in order to speak more clearly. So this probably isn't my most comfortable accent that I'm speaking to you guys with now. This is my camera or my presentation or my acting sort of accent, if that makes any sort of sense. The funniest one is I in no way feel like I sound like I'm actually from Nigeria, but some guy at school, I remember once, we were just talking generally about like accents, I think, and he said, oh yeah, and Cheeky's got quite a Nigerian twang on his accent, and I died. I'm dead, me, I'm dead! Because I was just like, eh? Yeah? I was literally like, eh, because I was like, me that when I go to Nigeria, they call me Oyibo, or Onyocha. Me, I have a Nigerian twang. I can put a Nigerian twang on my accent if I want to, but like, he's never been in a position to have heard that. But then, that was then perpetuated by some of my friends who are international students from Nigeria. Well, not my friends in particular, some of my friends' friends, who would assume that I was from Lagos. Like I said, I'm a bit of a chameleon. I take on the accent of whoever's around me. I don't know why I do that, but I just sort of absorb it. So when I'm around people who are like from Nigeria or from Lagos, I think maybe my accent does change a little bit to match theirs. So like, for example, I was at my friend's graduation party. Someone I'd never met before was just trying to make conversation. I was like, oh, so are you going back?
I just got back, mate.
And I was like, going back? I was like, yeah, so you're going back to Lagos, so you're going to be looking for a job in the UK? And I was now like, I was confused for a second, so I said, yeah, I'm looking for a job in the UK, really. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, that's what a lot of people are trying to do. But now that we've got our foreign degrees, we should then go home and try and develop the country even more. I was now thinking, oh,
Get it? Holla.
so this guy really thinks that I'm from Nigeria, actually from Nigeria, as opposed from, and I was gassed. I was like, okay, so I can really just blend in wherever I am. And when it comes to that sort of accent, it's a bit different again, because I feel like the sort of Nigerians and Africans or other countries sort of international students that we have in the UK are from a particular background where they would have been exposed to Western media, exposed to Western music and that sort of thing.
Am I?
Yeah, I.
Yeah, I'm good.
You English people.
And also a lot of them have been to international schools as well. So the English that they speak is sort of closer to the sort of American style English or British English. So the accent isn't very, I wouldn't say when you hear them speak immediately you'd be able to place that they'd lived in Nigeria for their entire lives, or lived in India, for example, for their entire lives, or even Greece or Spain or something like that. When it comes to Nigerian accent, I suffered. Me and my sisters, we suffered at the hand of Nigerian accent from early on, because my parents moved over to the UK in 1990. So when we were learning to speak, my parents had not lived in the UK for very long, and there was no sort of cosmopolitan Western influence. So they had quite Nigerian, what I'd call a Nigerian accent. So when we were learning to speak, obviously who do you learn to speak from? Your parents. Certain words, for example, like lettuce, salmon, garage, fuel.
I want to bathe. Where's my towel? Towel, not
too well.
These kinds of words that we'd heard from our parents, we then went out into the outside world and used in school. And in primary school, I would say words like, oh yeah, my dad parked the car in the garage. Or we had to stop to get fuel. No, we had to branch to get fuel. And up to now, I still find myself, if I'm speaking to Nigerians with a Nigerian accent, I will pronounce words in a more Nigerian sort of way. Just because if you're swapping into a different accent, it kind of makes sense to go the whole way rather than swapping in and out, because it just... I think it's also when you're used to speaking a different language as well, that kind of has an influence on the sort of accent that you speak English with. And that's not a new revelation, is a fact. Fun fact for everyone who likes to make fun of the Midlands accent, a BBC article published in the year 2000 says, the city which gave us Gary Lineker, Engelbert Humperdinck and Sir Richard Attenborough is officially the birthplace of the modern standard English language. And what city is that? Leicester, meaning the birthplace of the modern English language is the East Midlands. So whether you're in the north, you're in the south, whichever way you speak, you're speaking wrong. The way we speak is correct. And that's the end of the story. East Midlands accent is the right accent. I had no idea, because I assumed, like a lot of other people would assume, that the English language would have originated somewhere in the south, because that's where the Queen's English and received pronunciation is sort of a southern accent kind of thing. But then to find out that the birthplace of the modern standard English language, is the East Midlands, is another thing to be proud of, and the reason that I'm proud of the way that I speak naturally. And yeah. So yeah guys, thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to click like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video.
They don't know about you, but they all know about Reeds. Once they heard me on Lord of the Mics, they loved off my vibe like Nottingham's weed. Now I got fans all over the country talking about how much Nottingham's deep. I even got ladies telling me they wanna move to a Nottingham street.